Several Taiwan lawmakers are in Geneva campaigning for Taiwan's participation in the WHO. Besides advocating for Taiwan, the lawmakers have seen firsthand how the Swiss are living with COVID. Very few people wear masks in public or observe social distancing, they say. One lawmaker looks forward to Taiwan making the same return to normal life.
People enjoy a meal al fresco in Geneva. It's just like any other day. Walking down the street, there's nary a face mask in sight, and not many are observing social distancing. Lawmaker Wang Wan-yu, who is currently in Geneva, says the change took a little getting used to.
After I landed, it felt a little weird, because even at the airport, most people aren't wearing masks anymore. But we're still a little anxious, so we still wear masks. We felt the anxiety, especially at a diplomatic banquet on the first day. We were all in very close quarters, and it was a little noisy, so we all chatted very close to each other. We're a little nervous, especially because the next day, we heard that someone at the banquet had tested positive for COVID.
But Geneva is still offering PCR tests to the public.
At this PCR test site, staff told us that during the peak of the recent wave, people had to line up for 2 hours to get a PCR test.
Rapid tests, which are in high demand in Taiwan, are available at many pharmacies in Switzerland.
Have you ever used that before?
No, never ever.
现在没有人在做了，对不对？因为现在没有。
所以啦，现在对我们瑞士这边讲 COVID-19 已经完了 ，symptom 很小，好像flu， 好像caught a cold， 2-3天就好了。
Switzerland's most recent COVID wave peaked in mid-March. Since then, case numbers have been on a continual decline.
瑞士他们其实疫苗接种率没有到台湾这么高。
Switzerland's vaccine coverage is not as high as Taiwan's, but they decided to live with COVID back in April, so they eliminated many of the infection control regulations. Over here and in Europe, countries have downgraded COVID. They no longer consider it a pandemic. They treat it as if it were the common cold, something like the seasonal flu.
For
a long time, Taiwan had a zero COVID approach, so I think many people are worried about opening up. If the rate of severe infections goes down and vaccine coverage is high, then I think it's time to open up and go back to life as it was before.
The lawmakers in Geneva to promote Taiwan's cause at the WHO. She says the trip has also been a learning opportunity as she's getting to see how Switzerland is living with COVID.